But sometimes not having money was rough. For example, I wanted to do some work in the Middle East. I wanted to offer our training to Israelis and Palestinians. But I didn't have any money. How am I going to get there? So I go down to Swiss Air, and I spoke giraffe with the manager. I said, I'll bet you if you knew the kind of work I do, and you had open seats on your plane, I'll bet you'd like to give me free seats on the plane. And the person said, huh? I think you better see my supervisor. So I go to the supervisor and I say, I'll bet you'd enjoy giving me some free seats if you knew the kind of work I wanted to do. He said, what kind of work do you want to do? I told him. He said, how about this? How about if you train our cabin crews and we give you the seats? I said, I like that idea, but could you give me the seats first? Because I'm in a hurry to get this started. He said, no problem. So I got a lot of seats to go and do my work without any money. And everybody was happy about that, except for a woman who was sitting next to me on the plane one day. And when the stewardess saw me sitting there reading my newspaper waiting to take off, she comes over to me and says, where's your giraffe? She'd been in my training. The woman next to me looks up. Apparently she's not used to that question being asked. I answered honestly. I said, it's in the baggage compartment with my wolf. Now this woman looks like she wants to get off the plane. You know? So yeah, it's sometimes awkward not to have money, but it's still a lot more fun than ever doing anything that isn't play. Yeah.
Ich fühle mich mit dem Thema Geld etwas gespalten innerlich.
I feel a little divided by the topic of money. On one hand, it's a good strategy to meet needs.
Auf der anderen Seite möchte ich auch meine Lebendigkeit auch nicht dadurch gefährden.
On the other hand, I don't want to endanger my being alive. Can you give us an advice how you have learned to look at the money between these two sides?
Oh, that's easy, yes. Let me give you a quick exercise on how to use money in a giraffe way. Three points. First, never pay money for anything. Never charge money for anything. And transform the concept of worth. See, get that out of your head. That anything is worth a certain amount of money. So let's get rid of the word pay. We don't want to ever pay money. Don't ever pay money for anything. Give money. Give it to serve life in a way you want to serve. Second, never charge money for anything you do. Request money from people to help you do the work you want to do. But don't ever say, I'll only give you what I do that's valuable if you give me money. I'd be glad to give you what I offer, and I'd like you to give me some money so I can keep giving it to others. For example, a woman called me on the phone, and she had been referred to me by her doctor. Her doctor knew about a book I had written for children with learning problems. Her child was having problems in school, so she was scared to death. So I said on the phone, this is Marshal Rosenzberg speaking. She said, my doctor has referred me to you. I'd like to talk to you about my son who's having problems in school. I said, fine, when do you want to come in? She said, before I say that, I need to ask you a question. What was the question?
How much does it cost?
Do you want to live in a world where people who might have something to help somebody's family only gives it if you give them money? Do you want to live in that world where people die being transferred from one hospital to another after an accident because they didn't have money enough for the first one, so they send them to a private hospital, a public hospital? Do you want to live in a world where money is used that way? So, never charge money. Don't do anything for money. Make this clear to yourself. Never do anything for money. Get money to do what you want to do. Do you see the difference? Do the work that meets your need for meaning. And then get the money you need to do that. But don't ever do anything for money. Life's too short. So I request money. I don't charge. I give money to help people do what they want to do. If what they do enriches my life, I'd like to give them money to keep giving this to others.
Also ich habe da jetzt eine ganz praktische Frage dazu, weil ich kann das jetzt, ich kapiere das nicht, aber kann es jetzt so umsetzen gerade.
I have a very practical question because I don't understand it and I cannot translate this into my meaning. I work freelance for a firm with vitamins that are really very good. They gave me very much health. And I really want to talk about this to everyone. But I cannot give those things as a present to everyone. I also have to pay for these things. I have to buy them. I cannot go to the firm and say, I need the stuff because I want to help someone. I see my task in showing all the things that you can accomplish with this. I give a chance for everybody to get it to the same conditions or price as I do. But when someone says he wants this and doesn't want to do it this way, he has to pay because I cannot, how should I do that? I can explain what it was like for me. I can explain to him what good it will do for him. And
here is my prediction. Whatever you're doing, if it serves life, and I can see that you are confident that this serves life. So I say to this person, I hear the problems you're having. I'm really confident these pills will really help your health. I'd like to give them to you. And I can give them to you because other people who have been benefited by this give me money so I can keep giving this to people. So I'd like you to tell me whether you would enjoy giving me some money so I can keep giving this to people. But before you answer that question, would you tell me what you just heard? Are you mentally ill? I guess this is the first time you've had this interchange about money? This is weird. So it may take me 3 hours before we can get this clear. It's such a radically different concept. One place I was staying, a private residence in San Diego, California, and the woman agreed to handle my schedule when I was working there. And so I asked her, when people were calling for private sessions, to arrange an hour appointment. The second time I went back there, I saw each one 2 hours. I said, Ani, why 2 hours? I asked you 1 hour. She said, last time you were here, I noticed it took you 1 hour to see the person and 1 hour to get clear how you use money. But my experience has been, when people really understand this, they usually give me 40% more than I was requesting. But more important, they enjoy giving it to me because they could see that I could only give it to them because people were giving me enough money to travel, to give money for whatever I needed to do my service. So it's not easy to talk to people about this. I was working in a company in Switzerland. One of the directors invited me to talk about doing some work with them. And while I was in the office talking to this director, he said, great, I'd like you to do the work. What do you charge? And I explained that I don't charge. I'll be glad to tell you what I'd like to receive, and I'd like to know what you'd enjoy giving me. And if there's a conflict, I'm sure we can work that out. He said, I thought you were going to say something like that. And when I heard you at my church, I thought you'd say something like this. And I really like it. But in this company, if I go to my supervisor, they'll just want to know your charge. I wouldn't know how to explain this to them. I said, look, I'll tell you what I would like. And you, if you want me to come and do this, however you want to deal with the money within your company, that's your business. So he said, okay, what would you like? I told him. He said, oh, that's a problem. If I go to my supervisors and tell them that's what you'd like, they'll think you're not worth anything. Most of our consultants ask for 3 times that. I said, look, if you want to give me 3 times that, I'll take it. But I just need you to know that I don't do anything for money. I can do it without money for your company because other people give me money. So they gave me 3 times what I request. But some people that don't have any money ask me to give them money so they can use my services. So in many of the countries that I go to, sometimes the people would like me to give them money so they can come to the workshop and feed their families. Because if they come to my workshop, their families won't eat that day. So in Sierra Leone, for example, I give the people money to come to the workshop. And I can do that because people in other countries give me money. So never do anything for money. Do that which meets your need for meaning and request the money you need to do that.
Wie ist es, wenn ich etwas bekommen habe, wenn ich etwas empfangen habe, was mir sehr wertvoll ist?
What's it like when I have received something that's very precious to me and I would like to give something in return, but I cannot give something in return in the form of money, but I also don't know what the other person would like to have.
Yeah, I have these conversations a lot with people. Daily. They want to give me what I need to keep doing the work. And so, but they don't have money. Well, there's a lot of things they can do that meet my needs besides give me money. So I just tell them what they could do that would really meet my needs. We can usually find a way when that's the case. But sometimes this dialogue creates great pain for people. One time a woman told me in the workshop, you know, I just don't have any money, Marshall. So that's why I'm not giving you any. Okay. And we, during the lunch break, go out to the parking lot. I had a tiny little car. She had a great big car. Of course she didn't have any money. That car was costing probably everything she had every month. And my car happened to be right next to hers. And she looked at me, and I looked at her.
Und ich sah sie an.
And we had a good laugh.
Und wir haben wirklich gut gelacht miteinander.